In this section, we are just going to multiply binomials. So we have distributed a monomial times a binomial, the distributive property, and now we're just going to multiply binomials, which basically it's the double distribution. So a lot of times you're going to hear it called FOIL, which means first, outer, inner, last, and that's just an order of how you multiply these. But really, think about it. You're taking this first term and you're multiplying first, and then you're multiplying the second one, which is the distributive property. But I say it's double distribution because what are you doing? You are distributing these first term, and then you're distributing that second term to make it first, outer, inner, last. So it's just an order. It's a placement. So if you look at number 1, I'm going to show you, like, just use the distributive property. You're going to distribute the x to the x to get x squared. Then you're going to distribute the x to the 4 to get 4x. Then you're going to distribute this term. So you're going to distribute 2 to the x to get 2x, and then 2 to the 4 to get positive 8. Don't forget, you got to combine your like terms. So these guys can be combined. But standard form says greatest degree first, then my linear term, then my constant term. So this is my final answer. I'm also going to show you another way, and it's called the box method. The only reason this is valuable is because when we start to factor, it becomes really easy. And it's also an easy way to organize your work and to make sure you don't make a mistake. So this is a 2 by 2 term, a binomial times a binomial. So I'm just going to make a 2 by 2 box, which means 2 columns and 2 rows. So all I'm doing is I'm going to turn this binomial, and I put 2x plus 1, and this binomial is going to be an x and a negative 5. I'm creating an area model is what I'm doing, because length times width creates the area, and I'm multiplying these terms, so it makes sense. So when I multiply, I get 2x times x, which is 2x squared. I get x times 1, which is x. I get 2x times negative 5, which is negative 10x. And I get negative 5 times 1, which is negative 5. Now I can circle my like terms. Again, I start with the greatest degree, 2x squared. Combine my like terms, negative 9x, and then I get that negative 5. And so I still have, it's going to result in a trinomial. But this is a great way to organize your information and to make sure you don't make mistakes. So I'm going to do a couple using the double distribution, a couple doing the box, which is, what I want to see on your notes. I want to see you doing both ways. So this one, let's just look at the double distribution. So I'm going to take this first term and distribute. Y times y is y squared. And I'm going to distribute the y to the 1 to get positive y. Now I'm taking that second term, 8, and I'm distributing to the y to get 8y. And 8 times 1 is 8. I combine my like terms, and I get y squared plus 9y plus 8. Let's take a look at number 3. I'm going to do the box method for this one. This is a 2 by 2 term, so I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box, which means 2 columns, 2 rows. And I look at my term, x in the negative 10 and x in negative 4. So now when I multiply, x times x is x squared. X times negative 10 is negative 10x. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. And negative 4 times negative 10 is positive 40. Circle your like terms. And then we combine. So I get x squared, negative 14x, plus 40. And that is my trinomial, greatest degree first. All right, let's take a look. Let's do some ones down here. All right, let's look at number 9. I'm going to do the double distribution. So I take my first term, 8h, and I multiply by 3h to give me 24h squared. 8h times negative 1 to get negative 8h. And now I'm taking my second term, which is negative 3, and I get negative 3 times 3h is negative 9h, and negative 3 times negative 1, which is positive 3. I combine my like terms, and I get 24h squared minus 17h plus 3. Okay, let's jump to the next page and look at some bigger ones. Okay, now, when you have something that looks like 15, you cannot use that exponent rule where you do x squared and then 4x. That's not, and 4 squared. That's not what this means. What this means is you are multiplying an x plus 4 times an x plus 4, which means double distribution or box. So this is not a monomial. Last unit, we did 4x squared raised to the second power, and we did 16x to the fourth. That's a monomial, and that was fine. But this is a binomial, so what does it mean? It means 4 plus x times 4 plus x. So I'm going to do the box method here, and I have a 2 by 2. So I have x plus 4 and an x plus 4, and then I multiply. I get x squared, 4x, 4x, 16. I combine my like terms, and I get x squared plus 8x plus 16, and that's my final answer. All right, look at number 17. Again, this is a binomial squared, so it's got to look like this. It means 2m minus 5 times 2m minus 5, which means double distribution or box. So now I'm going to take my first term and multiply it to get 4m squared. I'm going to distribute the 2m to the negative 5 to get negative 10m. Now I'm going to take my second term and distribute, and I get negative 10m. And then negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. And when I combine my like terms, my resulting answer is 4m squared minus 20m plus 25. And that's my final answer. Okay? All right. Now, for me, I do the box on these because it's an easy way to organize my information. So this is a 2 by 3 box. So now I'm going to make a 2 by 3 box. And I get x plus 4. That's my 2 terms, 2 rows. And then my columns are going to be x squared plus 3x minus 6. And I don't usually go wrong when I do it this way. So I get x to the third, 3x squared. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. And then when I multiply down here, I get 4x squared, 12x, negative 24. And I circle my like terms. So now I've got 2 pairs of like terms, and then greatest degree first. So I get x cubed plus 7x squared plus 6x minus 24. 7x squared and 6x. Okay, now let's look at 21, just last one. And again, I'm going to do the box. Could you do the double distribution? Sure, of course you could. You would distribute 3a to these 3 terms, and then you would distribute 1 to those 3 terms, and then you would add at the end. But for me, it's just so much easier to do it like this. So my binomial is 3a plus 1. That's the 2 terms. And my 3 terms are 5a squared plus 2a and negative 6. So now when I multiply, I get 15a to the third, 6a squared, negative 18a. And then I'm going to do my bottom, and I get 5a squared, 2a, negative 6, and I circle my like terms, and then I rewrite. So I get 15a to the third. When I combine these guys, it's plus 11a squared. When I combine these guys, my linear term, I get negative 16a, and my constant term is negative 6. Okay? So box method, double distribution, knock yourself out. Now, I want you to highlight number 23. There is a 100% chance that you're going to see these on every single quiz this unit. So remember the formula. If you are finding the area of the shaded region, all you have to do is take the area of the large minus the area of the small. Notice, put your area of the small in parentheses. It tells your brain you got to distribute. So I'm going to multiply to get the area of the large. So I'm going to put the area of the large, and it's 9x minus 2 times 2x plus 7. So when I do the double distribution, 9x times 2x is 18x squared. I distribute the 9x to the 7 to get 63x. Then I'm going to distribute to get negative 4x and negative 14. I combine my like terms, and I get 18x squared plus 59x minus 14. This is the area of my large. Okay, now I need to find the area of my small. The area of my small is 3x times x plus 12, which gives me 3x squared plus 36x when I distribute. So remember my formula. It's the area of the large minus the area of the small. The area of my large is 18x squared plus 59x minus 14 minus the area of my small, which is 3x squared plus 36x. This trinomial remains the same. And then I'm going to distribute this negative to get negative 3x squared and negative 36x. So when I combine my like terms, 18x squared and negative 3x squared, I get 15x squared. A positive 39x and a negative 36x is a positive 23x, and my constant term is negative 14. So this would be the area of the shaded region. Okay, so it's real simple if you keep your work organized. Come see me if you're struggling.